What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we got a lot of stuff that we need to get to, so let's get right down to it. We're going to talk about student loan forgiveness because President Biden is talking about this once again. We're going to address the stimulus package update. The issues we're seeing here, it's really coming from Senator Joe Manchin, so I want to address what's happening and what you need to be aware of. We're going to talk about a major food warning. We're going to talk about what Russia's doing. We're going to talk about President Biden blocking sales of certain light bulbs, and also talk about, well, you'll see. So just stick around to the end of this video, and I promise you, a lot of this stuff you are not going to see anywhere else. So let's get right down to it. All I ask, just take 2 seconds, go ahead and hit that like button. So let's get right down to it. Here's what's happening. Actually, at a closed-door meeting just yesterday, many members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus are now saying that President Biden has indicated that he may soon cancel some federal student debt. This is pretty big. And according to multiple sources and according to the press secretary, Jen Psaki herself, she has stated that the Biden administration is continuing to look into all options. They're all on the table right now, and at this point, they're just trying to make a decision as to which way to move forward. What we do know is that roughly 40 million Americans hold some form of student debt, totaling roughly $1.7 trillion. We also know that many Democratic lawmakers want to see $50,000 forgiven per student. However, President Biden has already made it very clear, he's indicated multiple times, he does not want to go that high, and according to reports, he would likely stick to right about $10,000 per borrower. So that's what we are likely to see over the next few months. So as we get more information on that, I promise I will bring you that update as soon as we get it. Now, let's talk about what Senator Joe Manchin's doing, because here's what happened. What we have heard over the past couple of days, and Senator Joe Manchin spoke yesterday, and he spoke very freely, and he stated that he wants to focus on inflation and deficit reduction. That was what he said yesterday. Well, as of today, he made it very clear that he doesn't support President Biden's social spending programs. He just doesn't like it because they don't fit in with focusing on inflation and deficit reduction. He also made it very clear over the past couple of weeks that things like universal pre-K, affordable childcare, family medical leave, and even a child tax credit payment, if passed through a budget reconciliation, he wouldn't support any of those things. Okay? So what you need to keep in mind is that the stimulus right now is actually coming down. The amount of stimulus that is even being considered at this point is dropping. Now, Senator Joe Manchin did make it very clear that he is open to cutting prescription drug costs. That's one of the things he's really open to. He's open to climate spending and also taxing corporations and even billionaires to make sure everybody pays their fair share. Now, one thing I can tell you is that the cut to prescription drug costs, that is being seen as a huge win to fixed income seniors. Okay, so I brought this up multiple times before, and I know it's tough, but the big stimulus, the big relief or break for people on Social Security is going to come from prescription drug costs, not from handing you a check. Okay, so I know that's going to be upsetting to a lot of people, but that's currently where things are at. Now, let's address the news down at the border, because here's what I can tell you. Things have not been getting any better. Okay, things have only been getting worse. The only difference is our focus, because the media is not telling us about the situation down at the border, the crisis that we're still facing. We're learning about stuff in Ukraine, in Russia, in Europe. And again, I'm at fault here as well because I'm telling you the same stuff. I'm not, telling you about what's going on in down at the Mexico border. But here's what we know. According to an analysis by a conservative group, they are saying that the number of illegal immigrants that have come into the U.S. in President Biden's first year is roughly 1 million people. Okay, it went from, I believe, about 14.5 million illegals in 2020 to in President Biden's first year, it jumped up to 15.5 million people. Some reports say it's right about 11, but others say that that can't be because the crisis has only gotten worse, not better. Now, why is this so important? Well, the reason why this is such a big deal is because, according to reports, this actually puts an additional cost on the American taxpayer of roughly $9.4 billion for roughly 1 million people. That's pretty insane. This report also says that businesses are once again hiring, and they're hiring many unscrupulous employers are using this as an opportunity to turn to reliably cheap labor to undercut the market and make up for lost profits resulting from economic shutdowns stemming from the pandemic. These unethical hiring practices occur even though millions of Americans remain unemployed or underemployed. Okay, now I wanted to really touch on this because, and the only reason I even found this new report is because somebody asked me last week. I wrote it down on my whiteboard and I wanted to address it. And they asked, do you think that illegals are being hired for jobs that employers are saying that they just can't fill? My answer was yes. Okay? My answer was yes, because if an employer wants to keep their wages low, they want to hire outside the system, they could resort to this kind of hiring. Now, they won't report any of the work, they won't report any of the wages being paid, and this does impact our open position numbers. And so even though the government is saying, oh, we got 11 million open positions and we got however many million unemployed workers, I think there's 4 or 5 jobs for every unemployed person or something like that, right? I need to look into the numbers, it's been a little bit, but that's the thing. I don't think there's that many open positions, because there just can't be. Because if all the people out there are saying, hey, I'm looking for a job, I've been putting out applications, nobody's calling me back, well, there's a reason for that. My guess is you were paid too much in your last job, or your qualifications are just too high, so they don't want to call you in and promise you more money than what they could get somewhere else. Okay? Now, again, that's not 100%, that's not happening all over the place, but my expectation is it is happening because we see it all the time. So it's really nothing new. Now, let's talk about a major food warning. Okay, I want to talk about this because over the past probably few weeks, even over the past couple months, I've talked about major food shortages. Well, this is only going to compound these shortages, because yesterday, according to a federal food regulator, they actually said that they're recalling about 120,000 pounds of ground beef products. This is substantial. And the USDA says that ground beef that was produced between February 1st and through April 8th, sold from the Lakeside Refrigerated Services, should be either thrown out or returned to the store. Now, you can look on the back of the product and you can see all this stuff, but and let me look right here really quick, so you can see it right here. Okay, it says Lakeside Refrigerated Services, estimated 46841. Okay, but it's also going to be from the brands Thomas Farms and Nature's Reserve. Okay, those should either be thrown out or returned to the store, according to the USDA. So, just wanted to throw that out there because I know a lot of people are very worried that I'm getting sick, I'm not feeling right, man, I got COVID again. Sometimes it's not COVID, sometimes it's something else. So just understand there could be other factors. All right, so just keep that in mind. Here's the next thing. President Biden announced plans that he will be phasing out incandescent light bulbs. Okay, this is a switch from what former President Donald Trump did and his policies. But according to the administration, that this is actually they will be banning anything that produces less than 45 lumens per watt. And according to the administration, this, and they say thank you very much, right? They're doing this for you. This is actually going to save Americans about $3 billion in utility costs per year. So, pretty substantial savings, right? That's coming from the administration just today. But here's the bad news, okay? It has nothing to do with light bulbs. Has a little bit to do with utilities. According to the most recent reports, actually just minutes ago, they are saying that Russia is now making good on their promise to cut gas to Poland and Bulgaria due to not paying for their energy in rubles. And according to these reports, they're saying that European countries are now being warned that this could happen to them if they do not pay in rubles as well. And one U.S. energy expert says that this will not just impact the European markets, this is going to impact the global energy markets as well. So for all of us here in the United States, just be ready because, well, it's coming. Energy prices will go up, and they will go up more and more. So as always, that is what we know. As I know more, I promise I'll come back on, share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.